What's going on, world? And welcome to Clearing the Wreckage Podcast. It's the voice and your host, Kareem A. Rashid. And once again, I don't know what you got going on. You could be getting on the toilets, or you could be getting off the toilet. Hell, for all I know, you could be wiping your tushy. But I know that I'm ready. And so I hope that you're ready to clear the wreckage. Yes, indeed. What is going on, my peeps, my fellow wreckage clearers? What's up? It is good to be with you today. Yes, it is. So I will share this good news with you, and I am only sharing this to give glory to the one that I am in one and unison and unity with, and that one is God. And I have just celebrated 10 years of sobriety and recovery, 10 years of, might I also add, of clearing the wreckage. Yes. And so I am comfortable enough in my own skin to broadcast that to you because you are my fellow wreckage clearers, but I don't know who's going to hear that. But that is what we're going to talk about today. Becoming comfortable in your own skin, returning home, loving yourself, and becoming comfortable in your own skin and returning home. Because see, loving yourself involves all of that. And we discussed last week about loving yourself. Hey, I'll love you until you love yourself. That's what we talked about. Today, I want to talk about becoming comfortable in your own skin and returning home. We'll get into what that means. But, last week, I already shared with you about Dorothy on The Wizard of Oz. And if you didn't do your homework and watch that movie, like I asked you to, you need to go and watch the movie. Just watch that film so you can at least see what I was talking about, or the analogy that I was using in our latest conversation last week. Dorothy's house was hit by a tornado. Dorothy's home was gone. But the wonderful witch of the East, the good witch, said, well, Dorothy, here's these shoes. Wear these. All you have to do is click these heels 3 times. Very significant, by the way. We'll get into that. And you will return home. And what she was returning to, folks, was home herself. Not an actual building, but her building, her temple, her sanctuary. So today I want to talk about returning home, talk about being okay with not being okay. Or being okay with just being okay. Or being perfectly fine and safe and secure in your own imperfections. In other words, just knowing that you are human, and, well, that comes with you and I being human, not being perfect, but simultaneously returning home and becoming comfortable in your own skin also involves security, safety, and knowing you are perfect. There is a place you come to, home. My little house is perfect. I bet you think that about your little house, your apartment, your townhome, your duplex, wherever you stay, your mansion. I don't know where you live at. I love coming home. It's safe here. It's secure. It's perfect. So the same thing involves our own skin. It is safe. It is secure. It is perfect. Perfect for you. Perfect for me. It's meant for you. It's meant for me, right? To dwell in and be safe. I'm going somewhere with all of these words. So let's take the example of baseball, shall we? Life comes to you in all types of ways. In all types of ways. Your inner critic throws you a curveball. Your inner critic throws you a low ball. Your inner critic throws you a screwball, a fastball, a slow ball. All right, so, you can allow that ball that is thrown out of the zone to hit you, or you can take a swing. Swing, batter, batter, swing. Now, we can use this as an example of, you can allow your shame, your fear, your guilt, your performance-based, perfection-seeking makeup, right, to hit you and bring you down. Or you can knock it out of the park and tell it to leave. Which one is it going to be? Or you can actually bunt the ball because you want to be perfect and you don't want to screw up. You at least want to get on base. Or you can hit a foul and mess up and say, forget it, I quit. Or you can hit a foul ball, mess up, and try again. Or you can strike out and try again. And again and again. Or you can hit a home run. The journey, my friends, is in the bases. First, second, third, then home. They will tell you to go back to the basis, go back to the basics, because the base is where you start. That is your starting point, the base. I don't know if you got that. They tell you, go back to the basics. Nope, just go back to the basics, because the basis is where you start. You start on the base. And the destination is you, my friends. So the journey is in the bases. First, second, third, But the destination is you, returning home to you where it is safe. That's why you need to make it to home base safely. The umpire needs to say, safe, when you return home. Home is safe. You are safe. Do you believe that about yourself? Well, if you do not believe that about yourself, that means it is time for you to do a little bit of self-love. And I will tell you, as they told me, I will love you until you love yourself. So let's talk about that process of self-love and becoming comfortable in your own skin. I want to say that it is a process, becoming comfortable in your own skin. I will tell you this from my experience, that I am becoming comfortable in my own skin each and every day. For the past 10 years, I have been becoming more comfortable in my own skin. But this, my friends, is a process. And that process involves you going through life's journey. First, second, third, then home. We can't run to first base and then start trying to steal bases. It's not going to work that way, because it's not going to work that way. We can't steal our way through life. I tried to do it so many times. I stole stuff from the store. I stole stuff from myself. I stole life from my own spirit, from my own self. I was walking dead. I was walking death. I don't want that for you. But the process involves going through life's journey. First, second, third, then home. And sometimes you may not even make it home. That's what I was just sharing with you. The stealing the base, you may get caught. Out. Go to jail. Whatever the consequence is. So, not on the first try. You may have to hit the ball a couple of times before you hit a home run. You may have to bat lots of times. You may have to go up to the base. You may have to go back to the base, back to the starting point, back to the basics, back to the basis, back to the base, and begin again and try again. You may have to do that over and over and over again in life. Sometimes you may just make it to the first base, and then something happens where the people on your team, they couldn't follow through for you. They couldn't follow through for you, so now you got to walk back into the dugout, and then you got to try all over again. This process, my friends, requires patience and self-compassion. Yes. And for me and my journey, as you can see, if you've been here with me since the first conversation we had, since the very first episode, then you know it has been a process. And with that being said, becoming comfortable in your own skin is more than just a surface level feeling that I'm talking about. This is a psychological shift. This is a psychic change. This is a mindset change. This is a change that happens within your psyche. You, from viewing your body as an object to be judged, to experiencing your body as a home to be inhabited by you, not anyone else. So everybody else can tell you this is how you need to be. Other people can reject you and say, I don't like the way that you are, It is meant to be inhabited by you. They are not in your body. So their values, their needs, their judgments are not yours to own and put inside your body. Your needs, your passions, your judgments. Honor yourself and inhabit your own body, your own mind, your own spirit, your own physical being. Loving yourself specifically through self-compassion will protect you from societal pressure, the pressure I'm talking about, and that inner critical voice. Now, I talked a little bit last week about that voice. We all have that voice. Some of you may sit up here and be like, no, I don't have anything telling me that I'm weak or anything telling me that, I'm going to look stupid if I do this. I don't have a voice saying that to me. I will not argue with you, but I will tell you that you have a voice that lies to you because you're lying. And you still have a mask on and you can't be authentic enough, which means that you are not comfortable in your own skin and you are not loving yourself enough to be true to yourself. Loving yourself and self-love, we can say loving yourself, self-love, same thing. It encourages us to experience our bodies from the inside out, not from the outside in, but from the inside out. In other words, when the outside no longer matters as much as it did before. When you're not worried about so much what other people think of you. Let me tell you what my problem was. My problem was not what other people thought of me. My problem was what I thought other people thought of me. Did you catch that? That might be your problem too. That was my problem. My problem was not what other people thought about me, but what I thought they were thinking about me, because I was my own inner critic. And the truth is, I was already thinking those things about myself. So I went ahead and put it in somebody else's head and said, that's what they're thinking about me. Now, how can I do that? Why would I try to inhabit their home and then take out of their home all the stuff that they got in their house, the pictures hanging up on their walls, the ornaments, all the things that they have in their house to make their house a home, take it out of there, then open up my door, bring it into my house. Clutter. That's what that is. Clutter, destruction, havoc, a.k.a. my favorite word, wreckage. That's exactly what that is. But in other words, what I'm saying is, hey, you know what, man, that outside stuff, man, that stuff ain't important anymore. Man, yes, of course, I care about how I look to me, but I don't care about how others look at me. That's when you know that you are loving yourself. Because once this happens, you become more in tune with your own needs. You become more in tune with your own physical state. You become more in tune with your own spiritual state. You become more in tune with your own emotional state. You become more in tune with your home being in order. You, for you, not for anyone else, but you are more in tune with, hey man, I gotta clean my side of the street. I ain't worried about their side. My insides gotta be clean. We gotta clear the wreckage. Right? Because it's more about the inside getting cleared out than all this outside stuff. That's what happens over the course of time when you begin loving yourself. And that is what happens when you become comfortable. You start becoming comfortable with yourself. Loving yourself involves quieting that inner critic. Let's talk about it, shall we? Because I'm going to be the first to tell you this. If nobody hasn't told you before, you will be your worst critic. Yep, Kareem said it. You will be your worst critic. No one else will criticize you more than you criticize yourself. Isn't that something? Let's just think about that for a minute. Let's have a moment of silence so that we can listen, so that we can hear that. I'm not even going to repeat it until we have that moment of silence. Let's take a moment. Now, I'm going to repeat that for you. You will be your worst critic. No one else will criticize you more than you criticize yourself. And how do I know this? You're probably, oh, Kareem, here he is, Mr. Guru. I'm not a guru. Maybe of life, but I'm still not a guru. I have experience in life. And trust me, I've experienced life. But how do I know this? Because that was me. That was me, my friends. And I still hear the inner critic. The volume is just turned down a little bit. It has just become a little bit more silent. It is not as loud as it used to be, as it was, right? So self-compassion is what allows that to happen. Self-compassion is what helped me recognize my flaws and my imperfections as part of the human condition. Well, this is just me. I'm human. Not saying that I need to go and make a bunch of mistakes and screw up all the time and then make that as my excuse and my reasoning to cause harm to other people. I'm not saying that at all. Please do not mishear me and take my words as such. Oh, man, Kareem said, well, that's just me. I'm human. So that means I could just go and shoot somebody and be like, well, that's part of the human condition. That's me. I make mistakes. No, that's not a mistake. That's not a mistake. Because you decided to grab the gun and you decided that's not a mistake. That was a choice. Let me move on because I can get real deep with y'all, but I'm gonna just keep on moving. All right. So what I'm saying is I can go, that's my human side. That's what I can say about when I make a mistake? Well, that's my human side. Huh? That's the outside of me, not the inside. Oh, that's my human side, because I know that the inside of me, that spirit, that soul is perfect. That human side is what's making the mistakes, dropping the ball, so to speak. Could use that language in terms of the baseball. You know, the catcher's out there trying to catch the ball. It touches his mitt, and he drops it. Drops the ball. But self-compassion is what helped me to recognize those things. You know, talking to myself as I would talk to a good friend. Now, would I tell my good friend, and I know I've already went over this last week, would I tell my good friend, you know what, man, you're such a screw up. All you do is screw up. You never get it right. Matter of fact, let me do it for you, because you can't do anything right. Would I do that? I don't think I would. I don't think I would. Well, it depends on what kind of mood I'm in. I'm just kidding. No, I wouldn't do that. And I don't think that you would do that. I think that if your friend is doing something and they tend to slip up or mess up, you will be like, it's okay. Just go back up to the base and try to hit the ball again. And this time hit a home run. You actually probably encourage them to do way much better the next time. That is what we have to give to ourselves. Hey, you know what? It's okay, Kareem, man. You know, you messed up. It's all right. Go back, try it again, and this time do it even better. Then you can never imagine yourself doing it, and you will do it better. That's what we need to be telling ourselves, how awesome we are, how amazing we are. Yes, you will do it better, because you are awesome, because you are amazing, because you are great at this. But sometimes in life, you have to make a mistake to learn, to go through things, to learn the lesson. So with that perspective, with that shift of, oh, that's my human side, it reduces the sting, right? That it takes away that sting of the perceived flaws and minimize my feelings of worthlessness. You know, so when I make a mistake or I do something and I give myself that self-compassion, that talk I just shared with you, when I go, oh, man, it is okay, Kareem. You know what? You're going to make mistakes. Man, this is your third time trying at this. But I know the fourth time, man, you are going to do amazing, because you are amazing. And you know who else is amazing? The one who created you. So you can only do amazing things. Man, when I tell myself that, boy, when I give myself that type of love, that type of self-compassion, yes, then I can do all things. For sure. That's the type of love we need to be giving to ourselves. And then how about we just rewrite the whole narrative? Because there has been a story written about us since we were born. Oh, man, you'll never be anything. Oh, this is who you'll be, a hoodlum all your life. That story was written. I was writing that story. Oh, you'll just be a hoodlum all your life, you know. You'll be a thief all your life. You'll be a drug addict all your life. You'll be this person, an alcoholic all your life. You'll be this person that chases after women all his life. You'll be that guy. I decided to rewrite that narrative, right? By replacing that harsh self-judgment with positive or supportive self-talk, which then calmed my nervous system and reduced my anxiety. I also stopped punishing myself and started rewarding myself. You know? Rewarded myself. I was able to make a shift from that judgment to compassion. I was able to look at myself as beautiful from the inside out. Man, I was created as a beautiful person, a beautiful being. Yes. Loving myself created a sense of internal safety as well. That's what we're trying to develop, this internal safety, this being comfortable in our own skin, being okay with being alone. Now, how many of us cannot be alone? There's some of us that's listening right now, some of us part of this community probably, I bet, that just can't be alone. You have to go from relationship to relationship to relationship. I ain't talking about, to the opposite sex or the same sex. I'm talking about just friendships. I'm talking about this codependent level of, man, I need validation and approval from everyone else. Man, I got to go out to this bar. I got to go to this club. I got to go to this event. I have to be around people to feel like I belong. Are you struggling with that today? Well, if you are, then it is time for you to learn to be okay with yourself. And that takes loving yourself. That takes some self-compassion. That takes time to reflect. That takes time being alone. See, I began to be okay with being alone because I was no longer feeling like a threat to myself. Remember how I used to harm myself in so many ways? You guys know that. We talked about it. I was in danger to my own self. So no, I did not want to be alone. I said, because when I'm alone, man, I do dangerous things. My own health is at stake when I'm alone. But then loving myself and giving myself this self-love and this compassion for myself, I began to become comfortable in my own skin and not need that external validation, not need that external acceptance or approval from people, places, or things, right? I was like, man, it's okay for me to just chill in my one-bedroom house by myself. I'm all right. I've been at work all day around people. You know what? I don't want to be around people right now anyway. I became sort of more of an introvert. I'm already an introvert. I became kind of more of an introvert, which was okay with me. I was okay with being alone. That was my time to regroup. That was my me time, so to speak. And some of you aren't taking that me time because you feel a threat to yourself. You feel endangerment to yourself. You can't do it. Man, I'm going to end up doing something stupid if I'm by myself. I got to go be around people. Or, man, I'm by myself. I'm just going to hear the voices in my head telling me I'm a piece of crap all day. I can't. I need some external approval. I need somebody to tell me that I look good. I need somebody to tell me that I'm okay. The constant search, and that was me, folks. That's why I can sit here with you, among you today as my fellow wreckage clearers and share with you, hey, you know what? That was me. I was in a constant search for approval, a constant search for validation, a constant search for acceptance. Please value me. Please see that I'm worth something. Please. That was me. And if I didn't get it from people or places, then I got it from alcohol, drugs, sex. All those things that I share with you, that I've shared with you already. So today I want you to do a little bit of a task for me, a challenge maybe. Look yourself in the mirror and find something that you appreciate about yourself. It could be your eyes. It could be your smile. It could be your ears. It could be just find something that you appreciate about yourself, and it doesn't have to be external. So let's get that out the way real quick. It does not have to be external. You can look yourself in the mirror and you can see inside of you from the inside out and go, man, I really love the fact that I am generous to others. I really appreciate that about me. And then give yourself a pat on the back. And then the next day, find something else that you appreciate about yourself. And then tell yourself those things every time you look in the mirror, as a friend would tell another friend. Say, you know what, Kareem, man, I appreciate how generous you are to me. Say that to yourself. You know what, Billy? I appreciate how generous you are to me. I appreciate how kind you are to me. You know what, Susan? I really appreciate how kind you are to me. You know what, Taylor? I appreciate how kind and endearing you are to me. Tell that to yourself. Right? All right, so that's what I want you to do. So loving myself and yourself, what it means. It also meant, right, that I was and you are becoming comfortable not blending in. Hey, we're no longer doing the blend in thing. We're no longer doing the fitting in thing or even shrinking to make others feel comfortable. We're not doing that anymore because we are becoming comfortable in our own skin. We are becoming comfortable with being ourselves, basically. This is that form of kind of like authenticity that comes with being comfortable in your own skin. Finally, dropping the mask. It's not Halloween, bro. It's not Halloween. I'm so grateful that I was able to drop that mask. When I was finally able to drop the mask, I was like, oh, thank God. I've been living Halloween every single day. Walking around scaring people or walking around being the friendly ghost. Which one? Whichever one you want me to be. Because I'm going to be a chameleon. I'm going to be who you prefer me to be. For your approval, for your acceptance. That was me, folks. Man, so it was no more pretend for me. And I could begin letting go of the need to curate, my personality, change my personality, tweak it a little bit, or become a chameleon, or pretend to be somebody else to gain your approval. I was so grateful for that freedom, that I was coming into that freedom. Oh, man, I could be myself. I ain't got to pretend around this person or that person. And if I feel like I got to pretend, I could just be like, you know what? I'm not going to be around you because you're draining. This makes no sense. I got to be somebody else in order to be around you. No, I want to be myself because I'm starting to like myself a little bit. I started embracing my quirks, those funny things about myself. I began to make friends with those things instead of hiding them. My facial expressions. My facial expressions are crazy. I was like, you know what? I like my face. So I became friends with those things instead of hiding those things. So becoming comfortable in your own skin also required me protecting my energy. You know what, man? My energy is way too important to be saying yes to everybody and everything in every place. I remember this one time that a friend of mine invited me somewhere, and I was just becoming clean and sober. And I just had to say, nah, I can't do it, man, And one of those reasons was because, if I'm in that environment, who knows what's going to happen. But I had to protect myself. I had to protect my energy. So it's kind of like, when you start loving yourself and you begin to become comfortable in your own skin, it becomes a little bit easier to say no. No is a complete sentence. N-O with a little dot at the end called the period. Saying no to things that drain me, right? Saying no to people that drain me. Saying no to places that drain me. If I feel uncomfortable going somewhere, if I get a vibe where it's like, I got a bad vibe, probably shouldn't go, I'm not doing it. And I didn't do it. So that was me back then. Even now, man, it's become a whole lot easier. I'll just straight up tell you, you ask me for something, no. Not that I'm saying no all the time, but if it does not protect my energy or honor my needs, no. Sorry, man. Not sorry at the same time. So being comfortable in your own skin, well, that also involved me not depending my worth on performing or being the best at or being the best in the room or being the most handsome or being the most intelligent or being the most smartest, all those things that we try to compete with other people on. I was done. No, I'm not in a race. I am not in a race. I'm done competing with y'all. I'm not in a race. I began to stop looking for validation from others, and when I found myself doing it, like if I found myself seeking that validation, I was able to recognize it. This is part of being comfortable in your own skin and loving yourself and returning home, because this is where that authenticity comes in. It's about staying true to yourself. Hey, man, you know what? Hey, Kareem, hold up. Are you doing this to gain someone's approval? Yeah, I think I am. All right, well, time to have a psychic change, a psychological shift, recognizing that shortcoming, realize that this is something I did all of my life when I was not safe and when I was not okay with being myself. But now I am falling in love with me and I like me, so I do not need the validation from others to determine my worth. Telling myself that I love myself now, I like myself, I can give my own self worth. I mean, that's what it's called, self-worth. I can give my own self-worth because I was already worthy before that person and before they even was a part of my life. I was already worthy. Already been deemed worthy since the day I came here to this earth. I want you to not only today to look in the mirror and find something that you appreciate about yourself, I also want you to say to yourself that you are worthy and you are worthy because of you. Say that. Not because of anything else, not because of any accolades that you have accomplished in your life. Man, I got this trophy, that trophy. No. Look in the mirror and say, I am worthy because of me. Because I am worthy. I deem myself worthy. And the reason you can deem yourself worthy is because the higher power, that higher source, the source of it all, the greatest, the mightiest being ever, deemed you worthy. Yes. You can rest in that. You can hold on to that. And that is my task for you, my challenge for you, folks. That is all I have for you today. Before I leave you, I will read you a journal entry from a while back. And I'm reading this to you so you can know that I'm not sitting up here just sharing something with you that I think you need to hear. Always remember this. When I am talking to you, I am talking to me. When I am talking to you, I am talking to me because we are one. We are in togetherness. We are united in this. We are a united front of Wreckage Clearers, because that is what we are about today. The Inside Out. February 22nd, 2017. I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to read one more journal entry. And if you catch the date, you'll see where I'm going with this. You'll see what I'm talking about. Today is a great day. I am 1 year old, just a teeny tiny little baby. However, I am grateful to have come to this point in my life. I can only honor God. I can only give honor and glory and praise to God, whom have kept me and protected me, whom has guided me and taught me through the program of recovery and the 12 steps. And many people have shown me the will of God for my life. If they haven't taught me, I have definitely been reminded daily. I am so grateful, and I sit in awe of who you are. Oh, great God. Thank you. All right, that was 2/22/17. I was a year old, sober, in my sobriety journey. And this is 3 days after that. Some me time. This is me time that I was having. 2/25/2017, Saturday, around 7 p.m. at Fish Finger Park in the woods. I could recollect back a year ago and see how far I have come. The things I know about myself, from my weaknesses to my strengths, I accept. I am able to actually accept myself, to look myself in the mirror and accept who I am and not drink. Wow, I am learning to be okay with me. I could be myself around people. I don't have to pretend anymore. I don't have to have anyone like me. Although I do struggle with the whole respect thing, because I do want respect, especially from my employees at work. But I do not get my value from no one or from any substance or from anything. My value comes from God. God accepts me and loves me no matter what. I am grateful to God for the new life that I have through the program of recovery. And folks, that's what I'm going to leave you with, those journal entries. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Let's return home. But we must first learn to love ourselves so that we can give ourselves that love and become comfortable in our own skin, and then we can return home. Remember, it's a process. You got to hit the ball, you got to run to first, second, third, and then home before you get there. I love you. I thank you so much for who you are and for being here with me every single week. As I always leave you, take some time to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear. Peace.